Kevin. How are you?
Good, how about you?
Good. Yeah. Well, thanks for trying to improve the profanity filter.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe if you add, um, well, I was gonna say maybe if you add all of those words, you kind of duplicate them with the space. That might help, except for what Rick said with the concatenation of words. Anyway, I
So
don't know. Just
if you
thinking
add a
about it.
space afterward, it would still do the same thing, right?
Say that again.
If you added a space before and after, it would still do the exact same thing.
If you add a space after a word, will it do the exact same thing?
Like the one I posted that had a space before, and that wouldn't work. If you add one after as well, would that still not work, or would that?
Yeah, it probably wouldn't work
Okay.
because I mean, just like the example that I gave, like if
Okay.
somebody says the N word and they don't put a space at the end,
Hmm.
right? It wouldn't capture that.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is you could add both. You can add, like the F word and then the F word with a space at the end, uh,
Okay.
and then maybe an F word with the space in the beginning. Hey Benny, how's it
Okay,
going?
what's up?
I
How,
wouldn't mess with the profanity thing unless you really. Well, I mean, if you. Yeah, I mean, it's arguably not a high priority, but I mean,
No, but I was
if
trying
you
to
want to
learn.
prioritize it, if somebody wants to prioritize it for some reason, I mean, it's more important to actually find people to stream than it is to mess with the profanity filter. But it's like, it's kind of complicated, right? To make it better, I wouldn't start adding spaces
Okay.
to the file. I would just change the behavior of the filter a little bit.
Gotcha. It was more
But,
of a personal task trying to figure it out than anything else.
yeah.
okay. All
Like
right.
having a way to like block like people is more important than even like a profanity filter. Like if someone's like harassing someone,
Yeah,
having
actually,
the ability to stop that.
somebody mentioned that in the Discord yesterday. I mean, there is a block feature, but it blocks only their text to speech. And what this guy wanted, I think it was King Luxor, the user, but he wanted the ability to block the robot's movement because the robot was trying to knock over his cat's water bowl. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, and actually, that exact same thing happened to me too. The robot knocked over my cat's water bowl, and then the water got into its food, and it was left like that overnight because I didn't realize. And then I woke up to just an army of ants, just like cutting through my entire house. So that was a nice surprise, all thanks to robots.
Yay!
But that's one idea is to block movement as well as text to speech, maybe as well as their chat showing up in the chat. Um, Actually, yeah, I mean, I guess it should. Like, what's the reasoning behind only blocking their text to speech? If somebody's misbehaving, I mean, they're probably deserving of just being blocked entirely. I don't know.
Well, we need a temporary. But yes, I agree. You could just block them entirely. Um, I thought we actually started to develop that or something. I don't know.
No, what we
But
developed was blocking or disallowing anonymous users to control. We have that feature. So if you own a
uh,
robot and you don't want anonymous users to control, you can, disable that. Rick just okay. Where's Jill? Is she showing up today? Do you know, Benny? I don't know.
I have not heard anything from her.
She was streaming not too long ago. Maybe she's still working on that or finishing up.
She was streaming? I thought she wrote a note that she won't be streaming. Oh, you mean on
Oh
Telegram?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Run My Robot streaming.
no formal streaming, but she's still streaming.
I see.
I just saw her.
It's not online, so I guess maybe she. Oh, there it is on.
Okay. Well, whatever. That's fine. Maybe I don't know. It's just us four then. Brad's not joining. He says he's not joining stand-up tonight. A bit tired. It is like 10 p.m. I think in Michigan, or maybe it's like 9 p.m. Anyway, he says he does have Brad Bot printed, though maybe reprinted since I misunderestimated the length of the motors, which now sit in the battery bay. Okay, so Bradbot is printed, and Jose, last time he was on, it sounded like, I don't know, he was busy or like something was going on in his life. But I don't know if he's gonna join either. So just us four. Let's do this. All right, I will start like I traditionally do. I emailed a bunch of Twitch streamers. Got a response from a couple, Chad Tronic and another one. It's like Derp Dingle something. Dingle something.
Derp Dingle.
Dingleberry. But
Nice.
no, but I mean, I like the fact that we're getting a high response rate. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it is speaking out to them. Like I think it is very relevant to them. Maybe we found the exact right market. But I do think part of that is they think I'm just offering them a free toy. Like, 'cause I'm sure they get free stuff all the time from their fans, and like, I don't know, maybe it's the way I've worded it or whatever, but they think like, oh, I'm just gonna give them a free robot pet, and then I follow up with a second email and I say, okay, so this is what I'm thinking. We can do a trial for 1 month. Let's develop this relationship, whatever. And then like sometimes they drop off, or maybe they're just taking their time. Maybe they will respond, but I don't know. But so far, pretty good response rate for the first email. So been doing that, and let's see. There was that bug that was reported in the Discord channel about the wrong robot video showing up. Anyway, fixed that. That was a bug. I changed the chat colors. You guys might have noticed that. Made the video screen bigger. It's 800 by 600 now. Started to unredux the chat and activity box. So what that means is, I mean, there's a slight memory increase, monotonic increase, because Redux is this Redux pattern, but it saves all of your state transitions, I guess you can call it, into your history. But anyway, we're undoing that to save some memory. Let's see. Okay, and I started working on the private message system, and
Nice.
started working on the private message system. I guess that's it. That's all that's in my notes. All right.
Can you change usernames? Like, can users change it, or is that?
I can change screen names. I cannot change passwords.
No, I mean, can users change the color of the?
No.
Or-
It's just randomly selected
Okay.
on
I was
the
curious.
client. Yeah. It's randomly selected on the client side, meaning if you refresh the browser, you'll get a new color by chance.
That's how Twitch does it anyway.
Oh, is it?
Like,
Yeah, I thought about it, and I thought about maybe you should select the color on the server side, but then that gets extremely complicated. Because you'd have to keep track of every user's selected color. Like, somebody has a favorite color, it's part of their profile, like this is my color, and then like you'd have to keep track of that, and every time somebody chats something, you'd have to look that up. What's this user's color? What's his saved color? So it gets a lot more complicated. But anyway, that's it. All right, next person, Kevin.
Yeah. I added 18 broadcasters to the list. I emailed 10. I got a response from one. She has like 35,000 followers. And I forwarded her to Jill. Jill emailed her, and I don't know if she emailed back since then. And then I organized the candidate list. And then I guess I'll just keep adding people to the list and emailing them.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just in a nutshell? What's like the brief gist of what your first email is?
Here, let me just. Well, I'll give you a brief gist. Basically, it says I'm Kevin Wisbeth. I'm a representative from Let's Robot, and I post the Twitch channel.
Yeah.
I go into. Forget how I phrase it. I think I state a quick benefit, the fact. Let me just find the email, and I'll post it in Slack. I'm not going to explain it very well otherwise.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's see it in Slack then.
But yeah, that's it for my stand-up.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Kevin. All
Yeah.
right, Benny.
So I've mostly been working on like LED controls and just kind of understanding exactly what the controller.py thing is doing. And so if you look like behind me, I have robot, and from my thing you can change
Oh,
like
no
what
way.
color it is and make it brighter or
What
dimmer.
What do you mean by from your thing? Do you don't mean the UI
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Run
If
My
you
Robot?
go into the Run My Robot, if you go
Oh,
to the
really?
Benny bot right now, you
No
can
way.
control them as we speak. It's not like streaming the video or anything, but
Let me try
you
it.
can. Yeah, it's pretty snazzy.
That's
And
pretty cool.
then I was trying to add like rainbow functionality or just kind of an animated eye sort of thing. But
Yeah.
then I realized that I needed to kind of create my own thread in Python for that, and so that's what I'm working on now.
Okay. Whoa.
Um,
That's cool. You have like 3 layers of buttons.
oh yeah, yeah. I was
First,
playing around with the
first,
UI stuff.
first guy with 3 layers. All right. Let me see it work. So it's red. Let me try the rainbow. You said
It doesn't
the
work. So
rainbow doesn't
rainbow is
work.
supposed to like basically animate like throughout the whole range of colors, but
Okay,
it
that's what you're working on with
yeah,
the
yeah.
separate
So,
thread.
and I'm
Okay.
gonna try and have like the whole thing running in a thread, and then so whenever a command happens, it'll just basically pass it to a queue that the thread will be checking, and then it'll basically like react to whatever sort of I commands. So we'll see. But I haven't ever tested the NeoPixel code on like a fresh Pi because I installed like some library that I'm not sure if it's necessary or not, or if it's standalone. So that's another thing I need to test moving forward. I worked on like there's this ramp command for the robot that I was trying because for the movement of the parallax bot, because
Uh-huh.
the existing kind of step command is just this kind of like jerky thing, and the ramp one seems a lot better because it's smoother, but it might take a little bit too long. So I've been playing around with that a little bit.
What do you mean by take too long?
Like it has a fixed ramp rate of like 4 ticks per 50th of a second or something, and it's not quite like it since you want like you click the button and then it'll like quickly respond. I think that rate is a little bit too slow for what we want,
I see.
but it might be fine.
So, I mean, there's like a simple way to do this, and then there's probably a right way to do this control, which we've never done before. Looks like we're getting to the point where doing it the right way might be the way to go at this point. And I mean, that's subjective what right is, but I mean, I think the right way is to detect the key up and key down, and just when they press the button, it starts moving. When they let go, it stops. That kind of thing, rather than trying to like create discrete signals. Mm-hmm. But then you still kind of need a check. So I mean, the basic control could be you press the button and it goes, and when you let go, it stops. And we already have the key up, key down events, so you can grab those. That should get you around the whole herky jerky thing. And then there'll be one more problem where if somehow you lose that up signal, the robot just runs forever. So you'll need to have like a timeout.
Yeah.
And then it's resending the key down event when you hold the key down. So that should take care of that problem. So it's like there should be some kind of timeout. So if it like doesn't get a signal for a couple seconds, it just assumes that it lost the key up event or something.
Yeah, I think we for a while we explored like an analog controller thing where it was literally like a joystick that you could use, and we did a similar kind of timeout thing.
Yeah,
I think.
Right. I think a strategy like that would probably fix some things.
My main question there is what to do to handle like multiple users trying to control a robot simultaneously. Like if one person's pressing like forwards and another person's pressing right, like what kind of...
Yeah. So I had a discussion with Jill about this when we were together, and I believe it. I mean, at the end we were in agreement, and it was like, there's different ways to do it, but I mean, one relatively simple one is, hold on, I gotta kick a robot out.
I don't know how Rick does it. I don't know how he lives with like 10 robots in his house.
I would go insane. I had my 3D printer in my room for like 3 days, and I thought I was gonna like lose my mind just from the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in the jungle, you get used to jungle sounds. Right? So, yeah, for multiple users, yeah, maybe we should just we should probably just architect this from the server all the way down to the robot. We should probably have like an architecture session or something to get this dialed in and then implement it rather than just kind of like evolving it. But at the server level, it's like one way to do it is you kind of add up all the signals from the different users into a final signal and then send it to the robot. But the signal that the robots receive should still be a I guess at that point it wouldn't necessarily be a key up and key down signal. It'd be more like but it'd be very similar, and it could be still represented like that. But it'd be more like okay, I need to go or stop signal. But the point is that there's like a go and a stop. So then it can move for a very specific amount of time without the herky jerky thing.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So yeah, let's do a little. It's just I don't know. We can slack. Let's do it today though. We can slack it out or even meet about it after this meeting or something.
Bonus call when Jill comes on.
Yeah. And figure out our architecture, at least the first pass, and then we can implement that. I think that's the way to go.
Weight the users by how long they've been in.
Yeah, I mean, we can, like at the server level, it could do all sorts of weighting, depending on how important that user is. So.
All right. Last question for Benny. When I was talking with Jill, I remember she mentioned that the LED lights, they took 2 parameters as a command. Is that the case? Did you have to deal with that, or am I talking about something different?
So the neopixels, you have to specify which specific light you want to affect, right, and then the color you want to, and that can either be like using giving it an R, a G, and a B color, or just a 6 byte hex or 6 character hex value.
Yeah.
And right now I just have it like
all of them.
Put it closer, but it's just kind of set up in like an I formation. Yeah. You see, like the center one is shut down.
Okay.
Left, right. And so, like, all it's doing right now is it's passing like a whole hex value of the color.
So you just hard coded that one parameter.
Yeah, I hard coded. So all it's doing is I set it up so it looks for an eyes from the RunMyRobot like site, and then once it gets like an eyes, it will read the next 8 characters as a hex value. So like you can customize like any number of colors from the server side right now.
Wait, say that again. I didn't follow that.
So like if you click on like blue, for example, it sends the command eyes space 0x0000ff. And then on the controller Python code, it will check and say, okay, is the beginning of this thing that got sent eyes? And if it is eyes, then it'll read the next and set the color to that. If that makes sense.
I see. Okay. All right, got it.
Figure that like it's better to have the like customization on a higher level than the robot in terms of like being able to like design. But I think how Jill likes it is having some kind of a chat command or like a wait.
Well, you guys used to have like a grid, like a 9x9 or was it 3x3 grid where you can actually paint the LED lights.
That's the kind of like a color picker one. The functionality was like off and on for the longest time, but it was pretty sweet when it worked.
Yeah, I'm planning to. I got the code from Robin, nice. So I just need to plug it in, and then users should be able to, paint their own eyes and things like that.
Awesome.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Benny. All right, Rick.
let's see, added sound to parallaxes. I'm testing my own speakers because Jill was having some problems. So I'm testing the exact same ones. Haven't replicated the problem yet. But I'm going to also look into using Sumo Logic, set up an account for that
Nice.
to trap the logs that the robots create.
Oh,
That
okay.
way, like when Jill gets an error, I can actually look up the error. I've also updated Relaxi, so he or she is like encased.
Oh boy.
And the reason I did this is because, well, it almost works as a robot now that you could like if Pee Pee Poo Poo wanted to buy a robot for $200 or something, I think this would fly as a basic robot. It just needs like an on switch
It's just
and
a
maybe
moving
it needs
box.
some. What's that?
It would just be a moving box on your floor.
Yes, it's literally like a moving toaster with a camera.
Cool. All right.
But yeah, that's it for my stand up.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess, I mean, who knows what our CEO, Jill, and Jose are up to. Maybe they're like saving like a cat from a tree or something. Something good.
So, yeah, we should have a discussion like Rick later with Jill if she ever shows up.
Yeah. What about the control thing?
Well, also just about kind of like what we want to buy, because it seems like she's kind of insistent about getting it figured out, like the parts spreadsheet and whatnot.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
how do you power your Pi? Are you doing it through the micro USB or the GPIO?
Powering it through. I'm just using the micro USB. I have no real preference for it other than I just had the connector already.
Okay, yeah.
So I just used that. Yeah. I mean, I think we can get it out. Whatever. The way I see it, we need to get some of these working
Yeah,
by hook or by crook
get them
and
like
get them out the door.
a little
We
bit
don't want to
polished.
spend another 2.5 years getting it perfect. We just because the streamers are going to benefit from it as long as it works and it doesn't the main thing is you just don't want it crapping out, which is a major concern kind of. I mean, I've sent them out to people before and the main thing is you just don't want it crapping out, like losing power and stuff, wires falling out. But I think they can benefit as long as it is a robot that works. I believe these streamers can benefit from it. So we need to get this thing out.
Yeah, at least like the first gen.
What's that?
I said at least like the first gen of the Parallaxy.
Yeah. Everything's first gen. It's all
Yeah.
going to be continuously being updated. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys. We are making progress. All right. You guys have a good night.
Night.
Yep. Good night.